Welcome to the Market Capitalist. I am Domenico Johnston. Thank you for tuning in again. Today I'm going to be talking about innovation. Innovation is something that drives the market. If you're looking for stocks that are going to be deriving their value from their future growth, innovation is key. Whether it's growing their sales or actually running out a new product that is going to open up a whole new channel for them and their business to increase their revenues and ultimately be profitable. But innovation, as an investor, going out and looking for innovative companies, I think this is something that people have a hard time doing. And I say this because when we're thinking of innovation, I think oftentimes us as investors are thinking actually too hard about innovation. And in that I mean that you're going out and you're trying to identify a company that it has a technology that is so off the wall or something that is so new and so different that you're essentially going into the most risky parts of the market, where you may have a very small company, one-trick pony, and essentially this one trick is either it's going to work or it's going to be a complete failure. So it's all or nothing. And there's a host of other factors that go in there that can make it more risky for you. But on that face alone, you're essentially setting yourself up to lose a lot and win a few times. And hopefully, that win is a big win for you. But going back to what I'm talking about, innovation and thinking about innovation in the wrong sense. I think when you're thinking about innovation, you need to break it down to something more practical. And let me give you an example of exactly what I mean. A lot of innovation that comes about in companies, in our economy, in our world, is not something that's very radical. It's something that may be the combination of two ideas or two other innovations together that essentially match them and make them work better, or make the whole system work better. One thing that is very apparent to me is the thing called podcasting. Now, podcasting has been around for, well, I don't think it's been 10 years, but it's been pretty darn close to that. But about 10 years ago, I actually had a radio show in which I put it on the internet and people went and listened to it. And those days, you had the MP3 file format essentially was the standard for audio. And you had something that was coming along which was essentially an RSS feed, real simple syndication, that allowed you to either post or receive news about a blog or just headline news from a news source, whatever the case may be. But you had them working independently. And Apple came along and kind of, in a way, merged the two together and made it very, very sensible, very applicable. It was something that was going to have a very positive impact on the end user because it was going to make life better for them. People were going out and they were looking for radio shows, they were looking for music, they were looking for whatever type of audio, even video that they were looking for. And you had a technology that was pushing out specific information that a person was looking for, but it wasn't connected to audio, it was only connected to text or to websites. And essentially they made iTunes, which turned into podcasting, which took MP3s, which is essentially the medium upon which the audio is delivered to you, the file format, and the ability to have a feed, a data feed that says, this is the radio show that I like listening to is, ABC Radio, and I want to be updated every time a new ABC radio show comes out. And essentially their iTunes software put those two things together and made life great and essentially made a whole new channel for people to go and disseminate their podcasts or whatever the heck they were doing. Again, it was a big innovation. I mean, podcasting wasn't even a word 10 years ago. Well, not to anybody outside of maybe Apple Computer or something to that effect. But they changed a lot of things, and with that came iTunes and a host of other technologies that made Apple more successful, more profitable. But if you step back and think of this, if you're on the outside looking in and you see this happening, well, maybe not right away, you don't realize it, but essentially you could see that, technology 1, technology 2, an MP3 and a syndication service, they match them together, and all of a sudden you have this new channel that's disseminating, audio and video to people in a whole new manner that hasn't been done before. Is it that groundbreaking when you break it apart? No, it really isn't that groundbreaking. It's really taking just a piece of software and hooking up two other pieces of software and meshing them together. But in actual practical application, it was very groundbreaking because it made things work better. It made more people want to go out and subscribe to a podcast. Instead of me having to go to 10 different sites, I could have all my podcasts go into one place and update automatically. It made life easier. It's kind of like the person that's very clumsy playing a sport versus the very gifted athlete playing a sport. The comparison isn't exact, but you get the picture. In one, you think, oh gosh, this is ridiculous. And the other thing, you think, this is a real, a complete system that's working the way it should. Back to the point though. That was the example. The point that I'm trying to make is that when you're going out and you're doing research and you're thinking, I want to get into a stock that has a lot of growth potential, but it's growth based on being innovative. You don't have to go out and look for somebody that's trying to make a car run on water necessarily. And I just use that example because I don't have anything better right now. But you don't have to go out there into the fringes and look for companies that are doing something really, quote unquote wild. You can go look at more mundane companies that are looking at things like MP3 and syndication services and matching those together to make a new type of product that is going to suit the customer better. And essentially in this game of the market, it is about pleasing the customer, or how can I, the company, boost my margins, get more sales, turn it into higher revenue, better net income, more dividends for you, more retained earnings for the company, whatever it may be. How are these companies taking things that already exist, innovations that already exist, and leveraging them to be more innovative and therefore be more successful? Again, the bottom line here is innovation comes in many forms and not just out in the fringes of science or new groundbreaking technologies. It can come from existing things that we already have, just using them in better and or different ways to be more practical. Again, thank you for tuning in. Good luck with the research and investing. Comments, again, always welcome below. Thank you.